Fantastic. All right, so fabulous. All right, I've got 8 of you watching me. Oh, goodness. I've really messed things up today. But we're here together now. We all love English and we're here to learn together. So do feel free to ask me some questions throughout the lesson. If I see the questions, I will answer, if I can, of course. Otherwise, let's have a look at the notes that I've prepared. Okay, so the notes. Let me show these to you. So the first thing I say when I open the video, the adventure vlog, is so. I open the video by saying, so, I'm 8 weeks pregnant. Now, I often use so to start sentences, and it made me think actually that's something that makes me sound very native, because lots of natives start with these types of words. Well, so, okay. And these words in this context are known as discourse markers. Now, I didn't know this phrase before, but these words are technically known as discourse markers, and they're commonly used to connect clauses, to summarize what has just been said, and also to change topic, or in my case, to introduce a new topic, to start something fresh. So, there we go. So if you can start using some of these discourse markers within your speaking, you are going to sound much more natural, much more like a native speaker. So let me just bring those back up again so you can have a look at what type of words we're actually referring to. So we have anyway, and anyway is a great word to change the subject. Perhaps you're talking about something that's become a little bit awkward to discuss. Maybe the person you're talking to has become angry or upset and you want to change the subject. Using the word anyway is a great way to change the subject. You just talking and go, anyway, and then you start talking about something else. Now, lots of people use the word like at the beginning of sentences. I don't, and I don't actually like the use of the word like in that way. But you'll hear lots of natives doing it. They'll be like, I was out at the shops earlier and I saw someone I knew and they just use it. It doesn't make any sense, but they just use it to start a sentence. It's very bizarre. Right is another word. You might be like, right, let's go and make dinner. Or, right guys, I'm ready to teach you a lesson. And that right is just a way of getting your attention. You know, we sometimes use this when perhaps introducing a new piece of information. I might say, oh, you know, I saw Matthew yesterday. Then we sometimes say now. And that's very similar to right. It's like getting your attention. The same with okay. When I'm doing classes, if I have a big classroom full of very loud students and I'm trying to get their attention, I'll be like, okay, guys, let's settle down. Or I might say, now I need your attention. Or I might be like, right, I'm ready to start the class. All eyes on me. So these types of words are commonly used in that way. Some people say for a start. Like I said, I say so a lot at the beginning of sentences. So we have well, or we have I mean. Okay, so these are just a few things you can throw in. And as I explained, discourse markers in speaking. And please do bear in mind, these are mostly used in speaking. There's a different set of discourse markers that you would use in formal writing or in any kind of English writing, formal or informal. So these are just for speaking. That's very important. They're used to connect clauses, to summarize what has just been said, or to change the topic. Here's a little conversation between two people. So I've decided I'm going to go to the bank and ask for a car loan. Second person says, oh, that sounds like a good idea. First person says, oh, let me put that as A-B. Well, you need a car. B says, right, A says, anyway, I was wondering if either of you would teach me how to drive. Let's get rid of that. I was wondering if, let's make it simpler. Just two people wondering if you would teach me how to drive. So in that conversation, we've used so, and that starts the conversation. It's saying there's a change in topic, starts the conversation. Okay? And we use well here also to change the focus. So we've changed the focus from the car loan to actually talking about the car. Okay, so we talked about money and now we're talking about the car. So well is used to change the subject. Right here is being used as just a confirmation. Well, you need a car. Right. Yeah, so they're just saying yes, basically. And again, we're changing the subject. Anyway, I wonder if you can teach me how to drive. So it's kind of summarizing the whole point of the conversation, but it's changing the focus. So you see how we're using these. And this just goes over exactly what I just said about what those mean. Just so you know, as always, my lovely patrons, you will get a copy of these notes popped into your Dropbox. I will do that as soon as I finish this, now that they're all ready to go. Okay, so those are discourse markers and they will help you to sound much more like a native. Now, I did say that there will be 5 pieces of vocabulary or phrases that will be introduced in this session. That's what it's all about. And so let's move straight into that. Now, oh gosh, we are a very small band of merry men, 53 of us. That's what happens when I mess up all the technical stuff. If you are here, thank you so much for joining me. It would be great if you could just show me a thumb up for giving up my Saturday to come and do a lesson. It's such a shame it's all gone wrong, but if you can give me a like, that would be great. If you can press the share button, share it with any of your friends who might be interested in improving their English. And always, please make sure that you've pressed subscribe and that bell notification button. Even when you've subscribed, YouTube still hides my videos from you, so make sure that you ask them. You change your settings so that you are notified when I'm live and notified when I release a new video. Only if you want to, of course. So, the new vocabulary, the first one that we're going to look at is the word annual. Annual. Now, annual, in the way that we use it most often, it means something that happens every year. Or it's like yearly. Yearly. So something that happens every year, we call it an annual something. So you might talk about at work, you might talk about your annual income. So what is your annual income? My annual income is, I don't know, in the UK, I think the average annual income is probably around 25,000 a year or something like that. I don't know. So you could say my annual income is £25,000 a year. Perhaps. Or you could talk about your annual holiday, a holiday that you take every year. You might have an annual family get-together. So every year, at a certain time of the year, you all get together. Maybe it's to celebrate someone's birthday or a wedding anniversary, but all the family gets together in a traditional sense the same time each year. So it's your annual family get-together. Each year, I have an annual trip with my friends. We always go skiing together, which is why I've used this word, because it's come from my snowboarding while I'm pregnant adventure video. And it's a holiday I took with my friends. Now, let's just have a look at the spelling of this word, because it can be a little confusing. And there you go. Annual. Annual. Okay, so I'd like you to try and write a sentence now using the word annual, please. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to move on to the next word, which is agonizing. Agonizing. Now, this comes from the word agony. To be in agony is to be in terrible pain. So if you are in great pain, you could say, I'm in agony. But if you're describing something, then you would use the adjective agonizing. Notice this S sound is sounded as a Z. And if you are working in American English, this is actually spelt with a Z for American English. Okay? So let me just jump over to my patrons. Hello, Julia, and hello, Karina. Annual family get-together, is it spelt like that? Yes, I'm not, yes it is. Annual family get-together, that's correct. Or you don't have to have the hyphen, but I don't think there's a problem putting the hyphen in there. But anyway, back to agonizing. So if something is agonizing, it's causing great physical or mental pain, or even emotional pain. I talk about the decision of trying to decide whether or not to do such a dangerous activity while I'm pregnant. I say that it's agonizing. It's absolutely agonizing. Okay, so now, guys, what I'd like you to do is to write a sentence using the word agonizing. The sentences I used were, he had an agonizing death, and the wait was agonizing. When I had my problems this morning, I got on the phone to my internet provider and there was lots of automated messages. If you're phoning because of a phone problem, press 1. If you're phoning because of an internet problem, press 2. And you go through all these options and it's agonizing. And then I got cut off. And that was agonizing because I had to go through it all again. So I'd like you to try now to use the word agonizing. Stan says, this lesson is agonizing me. You don't need to say me in that sentence. You say, this lesson is agonizing. And that just means this lesson is painful. This lesson is agonizing. Kid Tsunami says, Liverpool scored 3 goals straight just in 15 minutes. Manchester City is agonizing. No, so you'd say Liverpool scored 3 goals within the first 15. Liverpool scored 3 goals straight in 15 minutes. Don't use just, in 15 minutes. It was agonizing for Manchester City. It was agonizing for Manchester City. Anna, please tell me Anna's live lesson is continuing. Yes, Imran, I am live right now. I am live right now. Is this the first? It's the first time I've joined your live streaming. Fantastic. Hello and welcome. I onion with my friend. What does onion mean? What do you mean onion? I don't understand that. An onion is a vegetable, a very smelly one that makes you cry. Okay, I know I've missed out quite a few messages here. It's nothing personal. I'm just not able to catch up with all of them. Okay, so lots of lovely comments. Thank you very much. If you're one of those who's given me a compliment. Julia has said, let me just get this up on the wall for you. Every time I'm at the airport, the wait to the check-in is agonizing. I'd say the wait for the check-in, or the wait at check-in, you could say as well. The wait at check-in is agonizing. But just change that for 4 and that would be perfect. Yes, and I agree. Sometimes if you arrive at the airport and you just want to get checked in, because normally we're quite hungry, right? We want to go and get something to eat, chill out, start getting excited about our holiday. But then we have this really long wait. And if it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning, you've had a very long start already because you've travelled to the airport. That wait in that queue to be checked in can be agonising, can't it? Okay, fantastic. Hello in Japan. Got people in Japan watching. That's amazing. Wonderful. Okay, so the next word is the word. Let me just get rid of my face, give you the notes. The next word is midwife. A midwife. Now, a midwife is kind of like a doctor, but they are someone who's specifically trained to assist a woman in childbirth. So, I have already booked in with my midwife because obviously, as you'll know if you've been watching my videos lately, I am pregnant and I'm going to have a baby. And so I have had a midwife assigned to me, and the midwife will continue to see me throughout my pregnancy. And when I have my baby, I won't have a doctor, hopefully not, if everything goes well. I will have my midwife present, and my midwife will help me to deliver my baby when I go into labour. And the example sentence using this very simple noun is, I must make an appointment to see my midwife. Notice there's not a space here. I saw some people earlier spelling this as 2 words. It's 1 word, and it's got nothing to do with being married. You can have someone who is unmarried and they'll still be called a midwife. It's about the practice, the job that they do. Okay? So that's 3 pieces of vocabulary I've introduced you to. And lots of you saying congratulations if you're just finding out. Thank you very much. So that's agonizing, annual, and midwife. Agonizing, annual, midwife. Okay? Then I have 2 phrases to introduce you to. Now, these phrases are commonly used, and one of them in particular is a phrase that I often see my students making mistakes with, and so I wanted to include it today. So the first one is to err on the side of caution. To err on the side of caution. Now, this phrase means, I'm going to show you so you can read along with me. It means to take a comparatively safe course of action when presented with a choice. So if you have a choice between eating your favorite meal, but part of that meal may be contaminated, but you're not sure. It may be a bit old and it may be contaminated, but you're not sure. Or you can eat something that's very boring, that you don't really like very much, but it's safe. You know it's fresh, it's not going to poison you. This you love, but it might give you food poisoning. This you don't love, but you know it's safe. If you're going to err on the side of caution, then you'll go with the safest option. It's not the exciting option, but it's the safest option. So to err on the side of caution is just to be sensible and take the safe option. Okay? Have you recently erred on the side of caution? It's a really nice phrase, actually, and I do quite like it. I often use it. And the example I've given is very simple. I suggest you err on the side of caution. So if someone's telling you to be cautious, to be careful, they could say, I suggest you err on the side of caution. Okay? So, here we go. So this is the phrase that I feel lots of people make a mistake with, and it's to look forward to. Now, this is a phrasal verb, I believe, and to look forward to something means that you're eagerly awaiting something. You're waiting for something with excitement. Like if you have a party coming up and or a holiday, on the run up to the holiday, you'll be counting down the days. You'll be planning what you're going to do, and you'll be all excited and smiling, and maybe you won't be able to sleep because you're so excited. You are looking forward to it. Now, the mistake that I often hear from students is they don't put the object with the phrasal verb. You have to include an object. I can't think of any examples where you would ever say, I look forward to, or I look forward. If you say, I look forward, then it's a completely different meaning. You're saying, I'm taking my view, my sight in front of me. I'm looking forward rather than backwards. I'm looking forwards. So to look forward to something is completely different. It's to be excited about something in your future. So you have to say, look forward to, and then say what it is. Now, you can say it if someone would know what it is you're talking about. Let's say we've organised a lesson or a meeting, and you are excited about our meeting, our lesson. And you might end the conversation by saying, I'm looking forward to it. Bye. In fact, most of my students, when we're organising lessons, at the ends of our emails, when we've organised the day and the time, we'll say, great, I'll see you on Monday at 4:00. Fabulous. I'm looking forward to it. Or I look forward to it. Okay? So it's actually used quite a lot in formal emails. If you're applying for a job, you might finish your email by saying, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing from you. That's a very common sign-off phrase when writing an email in a formal way, if you want to hear back from someone. Maybe it makes them feel like they have to respond to you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And they go, okay, I'll write you back. But you could be very literal. You could say, I'm looking forward to talking to you more at the party, or I'm looking forward to trying on my new dress. So you can say very literally what it is that you're looking forward to, but you have to include the object. So I've just given some examples written down for you here. I look forward to it. She looked forward to hearing his voice. They were looking forward to celebrating. This sentence suggests that they didn't get to celebrate or that the celebrations were cancelled. They were looking forward to celebrating. Dum dum dum. Okay, so that gives us 3 pieces of vocabulary: midwife, agonizing, annual, and 2 new phrases: I look forward to it and on the side of caution. I did have to think there. To err on the side of caution. Let's just have a look what you guys are saying. So first of all, to my patrons. Georgie, hello Georgie. Can one say be on the side of caution? Yes, you can say that. It's not that common, but you can say that. I would completely understand that. I do have lots of comments coming through also on YouTube. So please let me know about the difficult words often used in newspaper headlines. Well, Rajab, I was thinking today about doing more live lessons where we cover news articles. The difficulty with YouTube is anything that someone else has written or created, a picture, even an article, there's copyright issues. So if I read someone's work out loud, then potentially I could get into a lot of trouble. And I'm not sure what the deal is with news. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to read out full news articles. I have to look into it. So I'll find out what the rules are. But yes, it can be very difficult. I'm looking forward for a ping pong tournament. My purpose is to win it, says Kid Tsunami. I'm looking forward to my... Not looking forward for. We never say looking forward for, always looking forward to. I'm looking forward to my ping pong tournament. I intend to win. Okay? What else are we saying? I've got... I'm looking forward to learn English from you, dear teacher. Thank you. Just need to change that. I'm looking forward to... And because we're saying looking, we need to say learning. I'm looking forward to learning. I'm looking forward to learning English. I'm looking forward to hearing your voice. I'm looking forward to seeing you. So if you're using ing in looking, then we need ing in the next verb as well. Hako, I'm looking for to watch you making new vidcasts with your northern accent, please. I'm looking forward to watching you making new vidcasts with your northern accent. Okay, so you just need to adjust that one. Amal, can it be used in formal situations? Looking forward to, absolutely, yes, can be used in formal situations. In fact, all of the words that I've introduced today can be used in formal situations. Annual is definitely used in formal situations. Your annual stock take, your annual income, your annual meeting. Agonizing, it's an emotional term, but you can use that in formal speaking. Midwife, it's a technical name for someone who helps to deliver babies. If you work in the hospital, you will definitely need to say midwife at some point. On the side of caution, yes, that can be used in formal speech, definitely. And to look forward to is used commonly in formal emails, as I mentioned. Okay, so fantastic. So you are all doing really, really well with this. What are the common words used while writing a poem? I mean, gosh, writing poetry is a huge subject, and the language you can use in poetry is much more vast because you've got all that descriptive language that you can use. So I don't think there are any words that are commonly used within poetry because it's such a vast topic. Can you see my message, please, young lady? Be careful calling someone young lady. When you're older and you're talking to someone younger, if you're telling them off, like a mother would tell off her young daughter and use young lady as a way of putting her in her place, making her remember that she is lower than you. So I wouldn't call someone young lady unless it was your child or you were perhaps a grandmother talking to your granddaughter. You'd say, "Excuse me, young lady, I told you to tidy your room. Young lady, come here." So it's a way of talking to someone that marks you as a higher status and kind of belittles them. So just be careful using that one. What else have we got? I'm looking forward to my sister to have baby. So here you would say, I'm looking forward to my sister having her baby. Remember the ing, looking forward to my sister having her baby. Okay? So always use an ing, the continuous form of the verb, if you're using looking. There you go, you've written it correctly now. Well done. Okay, so fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Remember those words: annual, agonizing, midwife, on the side of caution, and looking forward to. Now, the best thing you can do to keep this stuff in your head is now to pop on over to the I'm Snowboarding Pregnant video, which I released on my personal adventure channel. The words that I've covered appear within the first section of the video, so it's only like a minute or so that you'd have to listen to hear all of those words, so you don't have to watch the whole thing, but just have a listen. I'm speaking at my normal speed, in my normal way, as like a native would speak to a native, so it's really good for your listening. See if you can pick out those words, and if there are any other words you don't understand, then please come back and write them in the comments box below. Okay? Just before I go, please do make sure that you've given this video a like. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure you are subscribed. And if you didn't see the video I released yesterday, there is a fantastic opportunity available at the moment to those of you who are very dedicated and committed to improving your language skills. So anyone learning English or German, Lingoda are running another language marathon. Okay, they're not paying me to say this now in this video. I just think it's a great opportunity. And the video I released yesterday tells you all the details. Basically, you can get to do a whole course of 90 classes, that's 90 hours. And if you do all of them, you will get all your tuition fees back. So all your money refunded, which is a really incredible savings. I know about 40% of the previous marathon runners managed to complete and get their refund. And so now you've got an opportunity to do it yourself. If they were teaching Spanish on the marathon, I would definitely do it, but unfortunately they're not this time. Boo-hoo. But yes, do check that out. The video is just in my video link. Actually, it's down below in the description. So if you want to have a look at that, then do check that out. It's only open for another week and a half, I think, to register, so don't miss out. All right, my darlings, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad I managed to complete this lesson. Finally, I will be live again on Monday at 4 o'clock, and that's UK British summertime. Okay, so 4 o'clock British summertime. Lots of you saying shout my name and hello. I must finish the lesson. I promised it would be half an hour, so I'm going to go. But lots of love from London. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you all soon. Bye.